Beautiful people, welcome back to What's for Supper. I finally did it, guys. I actually made a healthy feast. We are going full out vegan today. I'm always trying to eat as much vegan food as possible. In fact, trying to lean my diet completely vegan. I want to show you guys just how tasty and delicious it is with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of practice, and you can feel smug while you're eating delicious food and knowing you're doing some good in the world. So with that said, let's get on with it. So on today's menu we have radicchio salad with golden beets, eggplant lasagna, roasted Brussels sprouts with balsamic reduction, and for dessert we got some cheeky cheesecake from Sage Vegan Bistro. So we're gonna kick things off with the ridiculously good radicchio salad. It's crispy, it's fresh, it's delicious, it looks beautiful, and it's a little bit different as well. So first things first, we better get a bit of beets. So I've got some baby golden beets here. I'm gonna chop the stems off, give them a good wash first. It's very important, guys. I've already done that off camera. And then we're just gonna do thin slices. Can't beat a good beet, you know? Then we're gonna grab about 7 cloves of garlic. And then we're gonna chop them slightly chunky so they don't burn. Lovely jubbly. Then we're gonna get a baking tray with some parchment paper. We're gonna throw the beetroot in, throw the garlic in. Then I'm gonna throw some avocado oil over the top, some salt, a bit of pepper. Just gonna mix them around a little bit, make sure they've got all a bit of oil and salt, get all that deliciousness in there. Then we want to throw these in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 425 degrees. Right, and then while that's cooking, we're gonna get half a cup of raw cashew nuts and we're gonna soak them in boiling water for about 10 minutes. This is gonna get them nice and soft and succulent. Then we'll drain it, and there we have it. We set these aside. Then I'm gonna get the food processor. I'm gonna put the cashews inside. We're gonna add 3 cloves of garlic, 1.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, a dash of salt. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then just a little water, just a little dash there. Then we'll give it a little blend. Right, then we'll pour it into a bowl. Right, then we'll set that aside. The beets are done, looking lovely. We're just gonna pop them in a bowl as well. Set that aside, and now we need a nice pan on a medium heat. We want about 2/3 of raw walnuts. Add them nice and dry. We wanna cook these for about 5 minutes. This is where we get them nice and caramelized and getting tasty and crunchy and sweet and juicy and all of it. Great thing about this, the walnuts, and we've got the cashews and the sauce as well. It's such a good source of protein, which obviously, you know, with veganism, you've got to kind of make sure you get your protein. So nuts are a great addition. So next we want to add just a dash of maple syrup. This will get them nice and caramelized. Then about 1.5 teaspoons of coconut sugar. Oh, this smells so good already, guys. Now we just set these aside into a bowl. Then we got our radicchio, and what we want to do, we want to chop it in half, down the middle, and half again. We want to chop off the stems, and then we just want to kind of flake it out. Want to give them a good wash. Then we're going to get a bowl, fill the radicchio in. Then we want to add about half of a lime's worth of juice. Get fresh, get the zest. Zest is the best. I'm gonna add plenty of salt. Then I'm gonna add our dressing. Give it a good mix up in there. Then I'm gonna get a serving plate. I'm gonna add the radicchio. Then I'm gonna add the beets and top it off with the walnuts. Some fresh parsley over the top. It's fresh, delicious, healthy, nutty, sweet, bitter, all of it. Now we're ready to serve. So next up we have the eggplant lasagna. This dish is so good, it's juicy, the eggplant's so meaty, it's fresh, it's creamy. Promise you, you will not miss the meat with this dish. We're gonna need 2 aubergines, and then we wanna chop off each end. Obviously I've given it a good wash. Then do nice slices. You want about just over ½ an inch thick. Fun little fact, eggplant in England is called aubergine. And you would think aubergine starts with an O, but oh no, it starts with an A-U-G. It's weird. I mean, it's just one of the things when I moved to America, like the difference in the same foods from eggplant to aubergine to cilantro to coriander to courgette to zucchini. Too many weird things. It took me a long time to do any grocery shopping. We want to lay them out and put a good amount of sea salt all over. What this is going to do, we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes and it's just going to draw the moisture out. I think something that's really helped me as well in my, I'm getting a bit older now, I've got the wisdom and all that. I think that being more open, just more open in life, being more open to things that you might not agree with or things that you kind of don't realize that goes against your beliefs or things that we've been conditioned to believe. We don't realize how much our childhood, our parents, our upbringing, our environment, our schools, our work, our circle of friends, all these things condition us to have a certain belief, a certain thought pattern, and we don't realize how much that affects us. And that also stops us from growing, from learning. And like I said before, and I always try and remind myself of this, is the fact that how we see the world isn't how it is, it's how we are. It's our conditioning, it's our thought patterns and beliefs that have been ingrained into us. And I think it's really important to try and step back and try and be aware and notice yourself when you are resisting something or you don't agree with something because it doesn't align with how you've been brought up to believe. And I think being open and listening and just kind of trying to not make a judgment too quick, I think that's really important. With that said, the eggplant has now been salted. Just wipe off the salt from the eggplant. You can already feel the moisture coming off. And this is important to take the salt off, otherwise you'll have a very, very salty lasagna. Then we're gonna get a baking sheet, drizzle a bit of olive oil over the top, and then we're gonna throw that in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, just to get them a bit crisp, get them nice and brown, and then let's make the sauce. Right, so now to make our ricotta cheese, we need food processor. We're gonna add about 2.5 cups of macadamia nuts. You want raw, but I didn't buy raw, so I don't have raw, but if you can get raw, get raw. Then we're gonna blend them up a little bit, get them nice and fine. Right, looks lovely. Give it a good mix. Then we want 2.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Add that in. ½ a cup of chopped basil. We want the juice of 1 lemon, so I'm just gonna cut them into quarters, squeeze them out one by one. I don't have a lemon juicer. It'd be nice to get a lemon juicer. Maybe I will get a lemon juicer. I'm gonna have a dash of olive oil, ½ a cup of water. Then I'm gonna use vegan Parmesan cheese. I'm using Violife, just a little sprinkle. Adds a bit of depth. Lovely jubbly. Get some salt in there, a bit of pepper. Then we want about 2 teaspoons of oregano, and oh no, I do not have any oregano. Instead, I'm gonna use Italian seasoning, and if there's anyone out there that says it's not the same, it tastes different, you're probably right. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because it looks about right. Dash of that, and then we wanna get food processor back on, blend it up, let's go. Lovely, look at that, absolute deliciano. Next up, we're gonna get a bowl. Then I'm gonna add lasagna sheets, boiling water, and you don't need the lasagna sheets. If you wanna have it carbless, absolutely fine. I just thought I'd enhance it a little bit today. Plenty of salt, and put that on a high heat for about 10 minutes until al dente. Right, the eggplant is looking delightful. Now let's set this aside. Let's build the lasagna. Right, so we need some marinara sauce. I got Dave's Gourmet. Dave, sounds a lovely guy. Right, we're gonna pour some in. It's a nice little thin layer. Then we're gonna get our eggplant. Then we're gonna scoop some of our lovely ricotta. Make a nice thin layer. You can really smell the basil in this cream, it's just lovely. Then we're gonna get our pasta sheets. Create a nice seal. Then we're gonna repeat the process. Some more marinara. Couple of eggplants, just because why not? And then we get the vegan Parmesan. Get it all over. Then we're gonna end with some salt over the top, plenty of pepper, some olive oil to get it nice and crispy and bubbly. Yes. Then we throw that in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until golden brown. And while that's cooking, we're gonna move on to the Brussels sprouts with balsamic reduction. These are crispy, they're juicy, they're tasty. The balsamic reduction really elevates it and gives it a richness. I'm gonna show you how right now. We need some freshly washed Brussels sprouts. Then we're just gonna chop them in half. Then we're gonna throw them in a bowl. We want a nice healthy glug of avocado oil. Get it in there. Plenty of salt, pepper. Give it a little mix. Then we get the pan out, and then we just want to sear the Brussels sprouts for a few minutes just to get them nice and crispy on the edges. And as you can see, they're starting to get nice and brown underneath. Lovely. So we'll get a baking sheet out, and we'll add our Brussels sprouts. Then we want about 7 crushed garlics, just to give a bit of elevation. Touch more avocado oil. Then we throw this in the oven for about 15 minutes until lovely, juicy, succulent, and ready. And then now for the balsamic reduction, we're gonna get a small pot and then about 3/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar. Pour it into the pot. We want it over a medium heat. Once it starts to boil, we want to have it on a low simmer, and we just want to cook it for about 10-15 minutes, and you'll just start seeing it bubble up, and that's where it'll start getting nice and caramelized and just delightful, guys. You know, you're in for a treat here, I'm telling you. So as you can see, the balsamic vinegar has reduced, and now we're going to get our gravy boat out and just pour it in. We'll set that aside, and as it cools, it will slightly thicken into kind of like a syrup. And now let's get the sprouts out. They are looking delightful. Look at that. Now let's get them on a plate. See, when you do it like this, they get crispy, they get soft inside, you just get all the textures. It's always worth just a little bit more effort. And lastly, I'm just gonna sprinkle them with some dried cherries. It just gives an extra little, added little sweetness to it, nice bit of texture. Lovely jubbly. And that is ready to serve. This lasagna smells like heaven. Beautiful. Right, now for the final part, a little bit of basil on top. Look at that, it just makes it just look a little bit more fancy. Bit more salt, bit more pepper. Now my eggplant lasagna is looking bloody lovely. Let's serve it up, let's get the wife down and have a lovely, healthy, vegan feast with the cheesecake on the side. Right though, welcome back to Bistro Ben's. We have a lovely vegan feast for you, healthy today.
I'm excited. I'm the #1 customer here.
The only customer. We have one customer.
Well, I keep coming back, so it's
That's
a good
true.
thing.
Do you want to start with the salad?
Yeah, let's start off with the salad.
Salad.
Wow, this is the salad we always order when we go to restaurants. The radicchio.
It's ridiculously good.
It's great with the beets and the walnuts.
Yeah, if you get a bitter leaf or a bitter vegetable, whatever it is, if you can balance it with something sweet, it's just, you know, it just really helps.
It's all making sense, babe, at the restaurant, because they give you like one leaf, and in that leaf they'll like do a taste sensation for you. It's like that.
Oh, it is like that,
It
isn't it?
is like that.
I should have just done like a fancy restaurant. It would have a lot quicker as well.
Oh my god, this is a game changer. Let's get these Brussels started. Deliciano! This is amazing.
And there's a few little dried cherries as well.
Oh, that's what they are.
Yeah.
I thought they were just charred bits.
Depends, burnt it all again.
It's so good with the cherries.
We've got a happy customer, guys. This is great.
5 stars. I'm being very hasty with this.
Presentation's gone now. We've done that bit.
We got the B-roll ready.
Yeah, we've got it. If you've lasted this long, you don't care about presentation anymore.
You got the recipe.
Yeah.
You can leave.
You can leave. Well, don't leave yet. Watch us eat it, then you can leave.
Okay. Wow, that looks divine.
Thanks,
Damn. Oh, I'm so excited.
Good luck.
How is this vegan? Wait, did you make the ricotta too?
Yeah.
You made the ricotta. This is so freaking
Good.
delicious.
So we have a strawberry cheesecake and a salted caramel cheesecake. from Sage in Echo Park. If you haven't been there, and if you live anywhere near LA, let alone Echo, and there's people probably in Singapore right now saying, well, I can't go to that. But if you can get there, it's a good vegan spot, isn't it?
It's amazing. We go there all the time.
But we haven't had the cheesecake from there before, so...
No, we always get tempted by the ice cream.
Cheers.
Mmm.
Wow.
I didn't have to use any teeth for that.
No.
It's literally just,
Absolute baby food.
I think this is your best meal yet, babe.
Yeah?
It really is.
Funny that, because it's the healthiest meal, and it's vegan, so... Proof in the pudding. In England, we call dessert pudding. In case you didn't know what I was saying. I'm gonna stop talking, because I'm losing my mind. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.